It seems as though that Quant network can save Ethereum. A lot of people are saying that Ethereum is going to go away. Let's jump right into the material and why it matters to you. First thing that's going to come up on your screen is literally from Vitalik Buterin, believe it or not. So let's get into it. He states this, and it's really eye-opening. He states, quote, I think people will be surprised by how quickly cross L2 interoperability problems will stop being problems and we get a smooth user experience across the entire Ethereum verse, including layer 1, rollups, validiums, even sidechains. There's a lot of EVM sidechains, is there not? He's seeing lots of energy, and it will, you need to see some things in motion to make this happen. All right, so he posts this, of course, literally August of 2024. Now, the update is this. We're going to jump into why this matters. Because for one, look what it says here from Gilbert Verdian. He says, it's been a while since we caught up with Vitalik Buterin in 2015. And of course, he showed that particular status check, which is right here, if you're wondering the reference. And like he points out, all the way back in 2018, it's kind of like a pitch. That pitch at the time mentions how he literally met Vitalik at Sydney blockchain workshops, actually, technically speaking, back in 2015, when he was CISO in the government. He looked like an interesting guy. He approached him, as in Gilbert, to Vitalik and said, hey, quote, you look like a developer. What do you do? We exchanged, of course, cards. And he's literally showing the receipts, or in this case, the cards.
If managing your crypto feels like solving a puzzle, it's time to switch to Decent Wallet. So just a few taps, you can manage, track, and secure your crypto with unmatched ease. And here's the best part. Grab your Decent Wallet at a discounted price by using the referral link below. Don't miss out on making your crypto experience smoother and more secure.
As we jump back to this and why it matters to you, Gilbert points out that the Quant Network team will be going to future of layer 2 protocols. Think about this. How many times do you see layer 2s as being a solution for rollups, obviously for Ethereum? You have to have that scalability, if you will, but people criticize Ethereum saying, yeah, you're going outside of the layer 1. And that, of course, for a lot of people is an issue because getting too many third parties involved, why not just containerize it all within that network? But whatever the case be, there is value when it comes to layer 2s. So Gilbert, in his reference, okay, I think that's a big deal moving forward. And I want you guys to keep in mind, again, why we point out some of these key things and bring it to you guys. So the other thing I want to jump back into is I want to share that when you get into the fundamentals of it all, we see here, like it says, today we're unveiling our plans for Overledger Fusion, our groundbreaking layer 2.5 network designed to unlock the full potential of blockchain for institutions, enterprises, and DeFi ecosystems. At the heart of Overledger Fusion is the Overledger platform itself and our patented multi-ledger roll-up technology, which creates a multi-chain roll-up network. Think about what I just said. If this doesn't age well with what we just showed, I don't know what to say. Because again, roll-up network that operates seamlessly across existing layer 1 blockchains. Does Quant have a unique approach? Yes. Bridges the gap between private and public networks, ensuring the scalability. Again, scalability, okay? So it's like layer 2.5 takes things out of the equation that are unnecessary. Have the whole thing of compliance, interoperability, and so on. I will state this. This is another video. I'll read it again, just in case you're new. The current generation of layer 1 blockchains has successfully demonstrated the value of decentralized systems, resilient, distributed, and secure environments that facilitate the transfer of digital value. Yet for mainstream institutional adoption, critical challenges remain, of course, unsolved. Overledger Fusion is designed to meet growing institutional demand by solving the core limitations. Again, think about Ethereum and their core limitations, everybody. So, core limitations of today's blockchain infrastructure, the public ones that is, which continue to be barriers to wide-scale institutional adoption and implementation. All right, try to remember some of these key terminologies. We'll jump back into another key area about the UK MBR, Excellent Standards Framework, and tie in some other things outside of even just Ethereum when we talk about the UK standards and the bigger picture moving forward. But if anything, let's jump to our panel, which is King Channing, who can be followed at King Channing on YouTube, and Apex Crypto Consulting, which is Jesse's channel. Listen to our panel and what they have to bring us today in light of this back and forth conversation. Go ahead and take it away.
Yeah, this is very interesting. I'll go first, King. I'm sorry. You're the king, but I'm going first. The prince is going first. I'm just kidding. I ain't no prince. To me, okay, this is a classic Gilbert Verdian move. To me, this is Gilbert telling everybody we're going to fix the Ethereum problem. And yeah, because to me, this is Gilbert going over there, going to provide the solution for layer 2s, the whole Ethereum, everything. I mean, because Vitalik can't compete with this. Like, this is the solution. Fusion layer 2.5 is the solution they need. They can patch it. They can do all these different things. I'm not saying Vitalik is not a bright guy. He's obviously a lot smarter than me. But no, they need this. To me, this is because it's very interesting, right? Like, he's hinting. We spoke years ago, and then he's going to meet him right now. At the same time, Vitalik is saying that, oh, you know what? I think there's going to be a solution for this faster than most people think. And he mentions exactly what Fusion layer 2.5 is fixing. Vitalik says, the roll-ups, the layer 2s, the this and the that, which is everything that Fusion layer 2.5 creates full-scale interoperability with the security. Because people have to realize, like, okay, yes, Vitalik is the brainchild, the brain behind Ethereum. But Vitalik is still answering to the big boys. Right? And who owns Ethereum? JP Morgan, right? They own like what, 80% of the tokens or 90%, like just insane amount. I think it's JP Morgan. And so Vitalik, yeah, he still has to answer to the BIS and the central bankers and like these guys, right? Like, if they say like Ethereum's the biggest chain and we need it to be secure because some of our solutions for Project Rosalind and Project this and Project that, a lot of the BIS innovation hubs, a lot of the projects, they're going to use some of Ethereum for sure. I mean, Ethereum's not going anywhere. It's one of the first blockchains that was connected to Quant Overledger. So if they're saying like to Vitalik, like, okay, this is the solution, and Quant's a solution, and you need to use it. I mean, he's not dumb. And okay, if it was an average guy saying like if they were saying like this guy over there has got the solution for you, and this was just an average guy, okay, I could see that he might butt heads with that. But this is Gilbert. Like, if you don't think Gilbert knows as much as you, go sit down with him 2 minutes. Yeah, we'll see if he's not. So, and he'll bring Luke Riley, Dr. Luke Riley, at the same time with him, and you guys can have a chat. You bring your team, and Quant will bring his team, and you'll see if Quant knows as much as you do, right? So, yeah, this is classic Gilbert Verdian move.
I would say that Gilbert Verdian leaves breadcrumbs, but at this point in time, they're leaving whole loaves of bread. Yeah. It's just like a couple weeks ago when he did the Meta tweet, and it's only gonna be a matter of time before it comes out that Meta's tapping into Overledger. Just like right now that he's now tagging Vitalik, and he's talking about past conversations and how those past conversations are now fusing with Fusion to make those conversations a reality. Yeah. He tweets with purpose. He's not, anytime that he is tweeting something, he's tweeting it for a reason. Mm-hmm. He's not just like some of these influencers or some of these people that just want, to the world to hear what they have to say. He's saying it for a reason because it is tied directly to his company and the technology he's providing to the world globally. So 1000% correct. And think about it like this. What platform has more layer 2s than Ethereum? Especially public layer 2s than Ethereum, because they are that first big boy that people truly started to build on top of. And now you have a player like Quant Network and Overledger Fusion 2.5 that fixes all the little holes that's inside of those layer 2s and their layer 1 system to make it all seamlessly interoperate and bring it up to a enterprise level, like a Hyperledger, like a Hedera, things of that nature.
That's the key. It has to be enterprise level. It has to have that
Absolutely.
security. It has to have that scalability. It has to have those 6 or 7 points that he mentions in
Absolutely.
regards to what blockchains need. So there was scalability, security, all these other things. It needs to have that.
Yep.
And
They are literally building the internet of trust right in front of our faces. And anybody who is truly paying attention in 2025 and looking at these tweets and reading these articles and following any of our channels, you won't be sorry, not financial advice moving forward, because it's not just hype and speculation. They're launching real products for the biggest players in the world. Like you just said about JP Morgan and Ethereum. Well, who do you think will be utilizing it? Even BlackRock's, one of their funds were built on Ethereum.
Exactly.
Think about these things. Like, these things are happening for a reason, because we have true institutional adoption of public ledgers truly going live. You have Quant Network, literally the cleanup crew. We're the ones, we're going to come through. We're going to make all of the bad out of these networks, and we're going to bring in and horn in the good into one hemisphere, so you guys can play and build out your maps how you see fit to do your business and operate seamlessly like you do today. It's like I did a video about Christine Lagarde, and it's coming out soon, and she says these words: we are using so we won't have a oh no or a oops moment. They don't want that. This is the reason why they have these sandboxes, so that when they get ready to deploy across all of these networks simultaneously, it is going to be seamless, because it is being built off of governmental standards and internet protocols that they have been working on for years at this point in time. Like I said before, we're only now seeing the public-facing decisions of the private conversations, and all these working groups and all of these trials and all of these pilots and all of these proof of concepts that have happened over the past 3, 4, 5 years.
Yeah.
So,
it's all coming to maturity right now, full scale.
Absolutely. So
Which
2025 is like the birth, and I then think of the first birthday, then the second birthday, then the
which
third.
Which is exactly
birthday.
what Gilbert said. It's exactly what Gilbert Rudin said. It says 2025 is where we see, institutional adoption, like blockchain is going to flourish, all that stuff. And talking about standards and stuff, like we're not even talking about secure asset transfer protocol too. Like they just they're almost done with the secure asset transfer protocol. Like that's insane.
Which is just another notch in the belt.
That's a big notch.
Absolutely.
That's absolutely. It's crazy.
Hey, speaking of institutional adoption and standards, let's get into this next segment and why it matters. Because we talked a lot about, will Quant basically save Ethereum? Well, it's this other thing. How about literally saving the infrastructure for specific countries? I know that's a big whopper to get into. Let's pull this up and why it matters to you. As I bring this to your attention, this comes from British Blockchain Association.org. It's a particular PDF. It's brand new, fresh off the press. Let's jump into it. And again, why we're pointing it out. So for one, I decided to get more into this before we did our collaboration. And again, shout out to Quant Papa for some of this. An excellence of standards. It's a framework. All right, look what it says here. UK's National Blockchain Roadmap, the NBR. They have a 2030 vision called a roadmap and so on. Sometimes you guys get tired of hearing some of these roadmaps, but in reality, you have to have things put into place, put into motion first before we can have our blast off. So I love the terminology. The Center for Evidence-Based Blockchain. That's called the CEB. Okay. So originally introduced back in July 2021, but again, it's some of these particular updates. It says this framework sets out a blueprint to devise the UK's national blockchain roadmap. It's a concise summary of the key recommendations that aim to inspire and reform Britain's DLT landscape. Builds on the foundational principles set by blockchain academics, industry leaders, policymakers, and communities over the past decade. They talk about, what's critical and so on. The area of focus I want to share with you guys is some of the things connected, of course, to Parliament. Remember how we point out a while back that UK Parliament literally selected XDC? Well, this is not an XDC video, but some very familiar people here. More importantly, like this guy, right? We've seen him before. And, of course, he's even met Gilbert Verdin. We've done some videos about that in the past, okay? So it was a landmark deal, been done for the most part. But I love this statement. We have the tools and frameworks of evidence-based blockchain to evaluate projects against rigorous standards. Again, standards. You guys just heard Jesse and Channing talk about. So standards, and deploy those that demonstrate evidence of effectiveness. Who better to be at the forefront of that with Quant's Overledger? Who better to be at the forefront of that than Quant Flow and even this fusion type thing? As I jump further down to it, again, policy framework for UK's national blockchain roadmap. I mean, at the end of the day, who would be, again, at the forefront of that? Quant leads the charge, especially when it comes to the UK. So that guy that you were wondering about is Lord Holmes of Richmond, MBE, Vice Chair, UK All-Party Parliamentary Group on Blockchain. I don't want to get so much into 34 pages of this, but I will jump down to this other area of focus. And it's basically this. It's the micro and macro dynamics of innovation with a quadruple helix model, like it says. How it does all orchestrated with the government, academia, industry, and society. All right. The part about society, it says collaboration platform, legitimating link process development, structural perspectives, public services, and community. Bridging the blockchain research and practice gap. Okay. So you can have an idea how this comes together, but again, evidence-based. Who has pointed out a lot of the whole thing of evidence-based? Dr. Luke Riley, who's been in the news lately a lot. Dr. Luke Riley, okay? So you can get the gist on some of this, all right? So a little bit more about this. They put a lot of focus on IoT, right? I'll try to blow this up actually a little bit bigger for you can see this. So it's the number of IoTs or devices expected to reach 34 million by the end of 2020. And this part about 2025. Estimated economic impact of IoT applications, 9 trillion per year by 2025. We're in 2025. The whole importance of smart contracts. How many times do you see those examples of Quant Overledger integration, smart contracts, API integration to literally everything? All right. So again, emphasis on this whole thing of IoT, because moving forward, you're going to see why that's a big deal. And we'll jump into that in a bit. Let's take you over to this. One day ago, the APPG on blockchain tech had this announcement of one of the objectives of the APPG is to support the advancement of the UK's national blockchain roadmap. I'm just going to call it right now. Back to what Chang always says, how do you say quant without saying quant? I mean, who would be at the forefront of this? You already have standards in the UK. They put emphasis on standards. Australia, also standards. As part of the commitment to this vision, they have established APPG working groups and setting up a dedicated advisory board to accelerate the development and responsible adoption of Web3 and crypto asset technologies across sectors. Okay, that's a big deal. And back to the whole thing of Parliament, because they're going to have opening remarks from APPG Chair Matt Vickers, MP, at the Parliamentary Blockchain Roundtable, and that is, of course, or was, I should say, held on June 3rd at the House of Parliament. That's a big deal. You see some of the key people here and so on talking about some of this. And again, I do think it's worth sharing with you guys because, again, when you see people like this, Tiffany Bird, she is from AI Blockchain Digital Assets Association, Banking as a Service, plus some of these other things. But the UK, she says, is close to my heart. And this is great to see the UK's blockchain momentum, of course, building excellence. Again, standards, framework. Quant leads the charge in regard to all of that framework. Before I kick it back to these gentlemen, keep in mind, Quant posted this a while back, actually just, I think, roughly a few years ago. It's the careers. It says, we are the world leaders in programmable money. We enable banks, fintechs, and payment service providers, that's what PSP stands for, to innovate and transform their current infrastructure with account automation and payments programmability that will shape the next generation of digital finance. Right, because you are the foundation of digital finance. It's literally their slogan. And check this out, just in case you wonder how recent they updated it. Well, we had two key updates, May 29th, 2025, and of course, literally yesterday, might not be yesterday for you guys, but again, June 4th, 2025. That is major. And here's the part that will wrap up my segment and kick it back to these gentlemen, is this guy. He's the new hiree, if you will. He is Zhao, I'll probably not pronounce it right, Owls. He's the lead sales engineer. He joined, let's just say he's a new hiree, I apologize, but he joined Quant in 2021. And of course, he worked on Overledger and other projects, okay? strong background in solution architecture, talent for bridging the gap between technology and customer needs. This other part, Zhao started his career as a researcher at the University of Lisbon, again in Portugal, where he worked on the topics of wireless sensor networks. So remember how I mentioned IoT? Remember how I mentioned literally that page earlier? I'm going to show you just real quick again. Look at all this reference about what's going on with, for example, evidence-based. And now fast forward to all you see here with IoT, and fast forward to, again, back here, wireless sensor networks. That's IoT, ladies and gentlemen. So to see this posted here in this update, that before graduating in 2014 with a master's degree in information security, he has since then worked on a variety of projects, fields, and building big data pipelines. I love the terminology, pipelines, correlation systems, high throughput, digital advertising systems, managing thousands of requests per second. Throughout his career, he has worked with many different technologies and cloud providers. All right, recently EBA days, as we point out in the other video, Microsoft was at the top of that list, all right? One of the key sponsors of that. Again, the whole darn big conglomerates coming together at EBA days, and who's also there? Quant Network, who's also there? Citi, the RLN, the RSM, who's also there? JP Morgan. This experience together with his time spent leading a software development team means he is excellently equipped to solve or help solve the customer's most demanding technical challenges. So moving forward, everybody, you're going to see more and more info, not only about him, but Quant's plug to IoT. This is why for the longest time I said at some point things like Jasmine would have a connection or work together at some particular point in the future when it comes to IoT. And especially things like, for example, IOTA. Again, IoT. That's a big deal moving forward. Look out for new news about this here soon. But let's kick it back to our panel for the discussion and the key findings. Will Quant, in fact, save Ethereum? Go ahead and take it away.
Yeah, that's crazy. Go ahead, boss.
So, I mean, going back to what we just talked about in another video where you have Dr. Luke Riley has a doctor's degree, a PhD in AI. Think about that. And this is 10 years ago he got this. So think of where he sits now, a decade after attaining the degree, and now working for Quant as long as he's worked for Quant, and all of these other massive projects like SATP, like was it SPET, whatever that new one was that we went over in the video.
Oh, SATP.
Yes. All of these things. So now couple that with the whole push for AI that we were just going over, and how we already know that blockchains are going to capture the processes that are going through AI. It gives it its legitimacy. So it truly is all tying together. You have your Internet of Things, you have your blockchain, you have your AI, you have your traditional internet, all converging together. And Quant Network is right there in the middle, the glue holding it all together, saying, you guys, tap into my programmable money, tap into my maps, tap into my APIs. It's literally a white label product that literally will make your business seamless with 0 lines of code. Go to your Make, go to your Zapier, go to your Pipedream, go to your Whippy, have your developers build these processes out so that you can flourish in this new realm of Web3. Go ahead, brother.
Oh, it's just insane, man. Because, like I said, right, it's that operating system for the fourth industrial revolution. And if you're the operating system that connects all different systems, the blockchains, legacy system, the Internet of Things, AI, everything, then the sky's the limit. Like I said, the solutions are unlimited here. Like if you can think it, you can build it. It's pretty much where we're at with Quant right now. So, I mean, this guy worked on the wireless sensor networks and the Byzantine fault tolerance, which is the blockchain, which is the what's the word I'm looking for? Oh my goodness. What's the word I'm looking for? Anyways, it's what Ripple and it's what XRP and XLM Stellar are built on, the Byzantine fault tolerance consensus that it uses, right? And but yeah, like, where do they get these teams? Like, where the heck does he find these guys? Like, the people that Gilbert is hiring is just insane. Like, it's absolutely insane. They've got to be offering
top tier.
Whatever
the position is that they're filling, they're getting the most top tier talent in the world. It is absolutely insane
Yeah.
what the team that they are building out at Quant Network. And if you don't know, Gilbert is he's like the jewel in the tip of the crown, but all the rest of the gems that are around the crown, that team is incredible.
Yeah.
Like, that's why Quant is king.
Yeah.
Because they're second to none.
Yeah, and the other thing too I want to mention is in that document is showing, because I did the math there, it was showing from 2018 to 2022 there was a certain amount of growth in IoT, and it was actually 400%. So there was a 400% growth in the Internet of Things from 2018 2022, and that was without the interoperability solution. We didn't really have Quant full scale, and like that was, without that interoperability solution. So, I mean, like, that's why I say, guys, the next 3 to 5 years, it's going to be stupid. The way that AI is growing, the way that AI agents are growing, the way that blockchain is being all connected now through Quant with all the legacy systems and unlimited use case, like it's going to be stupid, transformational. And the idea that QNT is going to capture that utility, oh my goodness, man. Like
it's like an analogy that I said before. It's this huge auditorium. And at this point in time, all the seats were empty. And now you're slowly starting to see the people coming into the auditorium and having seats because it's almost game time. And once this game goes live, every single seat in that auditorium, and every seat, I mean, people like, you got JP Morgan, you got BlackRock, you got Oracle, you got the Bank of International Settlements, you got the Bank of England, you got the Federal Reserve of America, you got the Hong Kong Monetary Authority, the People's Digital Institute of China, like these major players getting ready to go live in the game. And once it does, brother, the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, 6 years, a decade. That's why these patents don't expire until 2040, because they are literally building out infrastructure that can be ran on for decades.
Yeah, it's insane. Like I said, this is the Microsoft Windows for the fourth industrial revolution.
1,000% correct.
Absolutely insane. And not financial advice. Like I always say, we're not financial advisors, not financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. But somebody asked Gilbert Verdi and said, do you think that 18 decimals will be enough? And his answer was, it should be for the short to midterm. So I was like literally Googling, because at the time people were using Google 5 years ago. Now everybody uses like AI. But I checked, like, what does short to midterm mean in general? And I think it's like from 2 to 5 is short term. I think 2 to 5, and then midterm is like 5 to 10. Or I can't remember, but it wasn't that long. It's like from 2 to 7 years is short to midterm.
People give me a lot of flack that I put $100,000 quant in all of my videos. But what people don't understand is that is just the beginning. If you truly understand, like the video I just dropped today, but it won't be today when you guys see this, but Gilbert is talking about thousands of use cases flowing through across.
It's unlimited.
It's unlimited. QNT.
It's unlimited.
Thousands. It's insane.
See, what I can't understand is, like, and I'm not saying it's going to hit it tomorrow. I'm not going to say it's going to hit it for sure, even though I think it has to. And in my theory, it has to. I don't understand why people can scoff at the idea of $100,000 quant when Quant has less supply than Bitcoin, and Bitcoin already hit like 108 or 111, like 108. Exactly. So why are you saying it's not possible? Bitcoin with like not that much utility, like store of value mainly, hit 110.
Even when they say things like no shades XRP, but a $10,000 XRP. Well, if you think XRP's value can hit $10,000, then why would the connector of the connectors not hit these ungodly amounts with the supply that it sits at? It just doesn't make sense.
Gilbert Verdian's asked how much it should be worth, and he's like, trillions. It goes like that. So, I mean, add that up for yourself. And, of course, there's going to be a lot of people who are going to be like, there's not enough money that's moving, right? Before, there was never, as Jesse would point out, a representation of that value of what the internet is truly worth. Nobody could put a measure on it. And that's why, that's where we get these real true valuations. But it's at the end of the day, you can't get everybody on board, and it is what it is. But we do appreciate you guys tuning in. Hey, we're going to wrap up this video. Thank you so much for tuning in. Type in this keyword into the comments if you listen to the entire outline, and that is value, and we'll know that you listen to all of it. On behalf of myself and these two guys, know what you have. Know what you hold it. Research trumps FUD 110%. We'll see you on the next one.